only one variable. So please, whenever you just read any data, just be clear about the variable. Okay. So this is like very important question. And see, when you are dealing with the quantitative or qualitative data, the variable is like that's supposed to come in your head. Okay. Remember one thing, no matter if you are dealing with the quantitative or qualitative data. What is quantitative? Anything which can be mapped through numbers, anything which can be represented, or let's say anything which can be encountered, or let's say presence of anything, any emotion, any aspect can be figured out using number. That is called quantitative data. Means if you open the data file, you'll find numbers everywhere. Okay, that's a quantitative data. That's how I can at least explain analogically. What is qualitative data? In which you'll find, you know, some comments. Let's say for example, I have a collection of 10,000 Instagram posts. That's a qualitative data, because in that data I'll have pictures. Definitely I would have some pictures. So any information in a form of words, sentences, pictures, it's a qualitative in nature. Okay, just make sure any information which is in a form of words, sentences, gestures, postures, micro expressions, paragraphs, anything, okay, pictures, they are like qualitative data, qualitative in nature. Anything which is straight away measurable or measured through some of these scales, okay, like star rating and all that, is known as quantitative data. And in once you open any data file, first thing that's supposed to be clear in your mind is variable, the term called variable. Okay, here the what is a variable. Now you can ask me that question, that what is a variable in this case. So read the title, 60 years of Canadian unemployment rate. So that is my variable itself, because only one particular information is given. Year wise year, I have a data of unemployment rate in Canada, and we have 60 such observations. Yes, correct, Piyush. So these are the things that should at least light up in your mind when I open any file. Okay, one thing supposed to be, you know, that's supposed to come in your mind magically, or that's supposed to come, I would say, it's a concept of variable. Okay, whenever you see any data file, this concept should come to your mind, I would say. Okay, now यहाँ पे variable is this. Now this is ungrouped. Why this is ungrouped? Because they have given the straight away figures. The data is in a form of a ratio measurement scale. If we import this data into SPSS or any other softwares, the measurement type of this is ratio. Ratio. Why ratio? Because it's straight away measurable. That is what we have studied last time, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Can you understand what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. It's Madhvi. It's chapter number 2. It's chapter number 2, Madhvi. Now, let me just discuss this file with you. Just a moment. Just a moment. So any number which is like straight away measurable, it's not given in, let's say, form of interval, we just call ungrouped data. Say for example, if you ask me what is my age and if I answer 32 years, it's an ungrouped observation. That's an ungrouped observation, I would say. Ungrouped observation. Okay. And if you ask me that, okay, what is my age, and let's say if I give you very particular answer, let's say, oh sorry, if I don't give you the particular answer, and if I simply say that my age is somewhere between 30 to 35, this is a grouped observation. Here the age groups are being used. That's why it's a grouped information. Okay, so that's a difference. Okay, so that's a minor difference. So I hope that you can see this. So this is again the unemployment figures. Don't compare this figures with this one. Won't match. Okay, don't compare it because okay. So in your book, I just try to at least copy and paste it somewhere else, but it's a secured PDF. Okay, so let's say this is again a similar kind of a data. Okay, this is the age data. Now let me just see if I have an unemployment figures. Okay, here I have an unemployment rate for 60 years. Now this kind of information first, whenever you just decide to use software, see this is like a good arrangement. You have to deal with the arrangement first. Okay, group, ungroup, and other concepts are, it's a matter of discussion of next stage. First, you have to at least put it in a visible format. So whenever you just read, whenever you just take data from the government sources, or let's say from book, or let's say, so this kind of data can be provided by government authorities. Okay, let's say unemployment figures can be provided by most of the governments and all. Okay, so whenever you just at least get this kind of data from the authentic sources like government organizations or the ministry's website and all, most of the time you'll get the data in this kind of format, which is like a report kind of a format. It's good to at least present the data in this format if you're writing a report, but it's not feasible to analyze the information. So what need to be done? Say, for example, this is what I have done. Now, how to reorganize this data? So most of the time you have to reorganize the data if you want to use it. Okay, so let me just copy this entire data metric somewhere else, because I want to prepare some graphs and all that based on this information, this particular piece of information. तो मुझे इस तरह से इसको अरेंज करना पड़ेगा. अगर ये फॉर्मेट में if they provide it, then definitely they'll require some more pages. Okay, that way they may misuse the page. Okay, because majority of the, when they at least put this kind of long table, okay, they'll require some more pages, and in those pages if they put only 2 columns, then on those pages, let's say 80% of the area is like unused, so they can't at least, and that doesn't look good even. So for reporting format, this is a, it's a good way to put the data in a tabular format. But if you are analyzing the data, you have to bring it to this format. Okay, year one, let's say year one, year two, and year three. So simply I need to drag this. Many times if you don't get this straight away automatically, there's an option here. Just go to the home tab, go to the series, click on one, then you'll get this. Okay, now this is unemployment figure, right? What should I do? I need a title here. Okay, I need a title here. Okay, unemployment rate. Here it's a year number. Okay, with this, now let me just do one thing. This is ungrouped data. This is called ungrouped data because single observations, discrete figures are there. There's two concepts. If you ask me my age, if I say 32, it's a discrete figure. Discrete figure. If I say somewhere between 30 to 35, it's a continuous figure. Okay. Later on, we'll study the distributions based on this discrete distribution and the continuous distribution. So these are the two type of observation. This is the only two type of, I guess, observation. Okay, so whenever you say my data is in a quantitative format, that means the piece of information or the observation either could be in the discrete form or continuous form. These are the only two forms, I guess. Okay, in which information can be disseminated. Okay, now you just tell me how to group this. You can group this. It's very easy. How to group this? There's a formula. There's a formula which is given here. So they said that you can group this information like this way. So what is the benefit of this transformation from ungrouped to group data? So most of the mathematicians and statisticians, they believe that this way you can at least reduce the dimension. Okay, look at the spread. I mean, so many columns are occupied and so many rows are occupied to represent this 60 years Canadian unemployment rate. If you group them, okay, in a smaller dimension, you can at least present the same piece of information. So this is the biggest advantage of group to ungroup transformation. Aishwarya Tiwari is asking that first we need to decide the class and the quarter or the one trowel. Sorry. Okay, there's no okay, it's okay, Aishwarya. Okay, Nikhil, I'll do it. I'll do it. Don't worry. Okay. See, basically what I'm trying to tell you is, let me just at least explain through a very simple example. So say for example, here we have 3 students. Student number 1. Okay. Okay. So here we have a 3 students. Student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4. Okay. Let's say the age of the first student is 31. The second student is 42, maybe 30, and let's say 25. Fifth student is, let's say 26. Now if you want to group them, okay, what we need to, at least first we need to formulate the groups. Okay, there is a proper technique, but let me just do it randomly at this point. Let's say 20 to 30. This is the first age group. 31 to 40, 41 to 50. These are the 3 age groups. What is this is like this is ungrouped information or data. Now this is a grouped one. What is the difference? You'll notice this is the age groups. These are the frequencies here, frequencies. Now in this bracket called 20 to 30, how many data points are there? So we need to observe, we need to at least consider all the observation. This is not, this per student 1 doesn't belong to the first age group. Student 2 doesn't belong to the first age group. Student 3, yes, 1 plus, yes, 1. Student number 3 belong to the for age group 1. Student number 4 belong to the age group 1 plus student number 3 also belongs to this particular age group. So the frequency count is 3. 31 to 40. In this particular bracket, only one student is there, student number 1, if you can observe. And this student number 2 belongs to the last age group. So this way, what is the advantage of transforming? I mean, if you consider this transformation of ungrouped to group data, what is the advantage? You can at least reduce the dimension. I mean, when I say dimension, this is called dimension. Row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1, column 2. 6 observation can be presented in 3 rows and 2 columns. Okay, so this is called dimension. This is a matrix. I hope that most of you have studied the matrix algebra during your school days. So if you have studied matrix algebra in your school days, this is called matrix. A matrix is a kind of arrangement when you'll observe some columns as well as some rows and some cells. So number of cells can be defined by this way. So if this is a matrix A, the dimension